Breaking news with Based and Bougie. Guys, I predict a riot. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. Let's get into it, guys. Guys, I know my intro was very, very, very unserious, but I'm just trying to make light in these very, very dark times. I feel like every time I go on X, every time I go on the news, it's just something that's scary, frightening, worrying. Basically, guys, a mosque has just been attacked in Peacehaven in Brighton. Now, this is following an attack that happened in a synagogue in Manchester. Now, I was going to report on this anyways, but now that more information has been added through this mosque attack, let's just quickly run through what happened with the synagogue. So on the 2nd of October in Manchester, a synagogue was attacked and 2 people were killed due to this attack. I'm going to show you the footage.
You've killed him? No, hell, Lucas.
Everybody else, get back! If you're not involved, move back! Get away! Somebody stay with casualty! Everybody else, he has a bomb! Go away!
He's got a bomb on him! He's got a bomb! Mate, he's got a man, he's got a bomb on his jacket, mate! He's trying to go in a He's got bombs on him!
Now, the person who attacked the mosque, his name is Jihad. That's his first name, Jihad. Jihad al-Shami it recently came out, I think 2 days after the synagogue attack happened, that he groomed an 18-year-old. Now, this 18-year-old girl revealed that whilst they were in their relationship, I wouldn't call it a relationship because she was groomed, he revealed that he had grape fantasies. Obviously, I can't say the word, but it rhymes with grape fantasies. She also expressed that he wanted to join ISIS. You couldn't make this up even if you wanted to. Like, some of the stories I see coming out these days, a part of me is starting to think they're made up because I genuinely can't believe this is real. I can't believe this is real. Like, as if we're not angry enough, as if we're not peed off enough. Now you're coming out with a story telling me that a guy called Jihad killed 2 people and in the past he groomed. Everything that would make us angry is all in this story. And it's starting to make me think that these stories are fabricated to make, because you can't make this up even if you... It doesn't seem real. It generally doesn't seem real. And I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm just laughing at the fact that, like, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for people to realize that when we're saying that certain ideologies and communities are just not compatible with Western values, why do you guys still sit here and say, oh, we're being racist, oh, we're being coons, we're being Uncle Toms? Why are you guys still worried about racism? 2 people are dead now because of this. A girl has been groomed now because of people like this who are not compatible with the West. But oh, we're racist when we say that people need to be vetted properly when coming into the country. I'm tired of fighting, literally. Now, when it comes to this guy called Jihad, I'm very confused to why nothing was done about this. I'm not sure why the police didn't act on this. This is the same thing that happened with Axel Redder-Cabana. Axel Redder-Cabana was a very troubled little boy in school. Not only was he a troubled little boy, but I believe a week prior to the Southport attack, he was planning to attack, or the police had some kind of insight on him. I'm not 100% sure. I do remember reporting on it, but my memory is just gone. But basically, they had insight that this young man was going to commit attack, and they didn't do anything. Now, I just feel like our establishment is really trying to sabotage us, because there's so many people on the MI5 watch list. There's so many people just roaming around our country who genuinely have such evil intentions towards the general public. And yet our government, our police don't want to do anything about it. And this is why you see so many people just leaving the country. They're going to Dubai, they're going to Miami, they're going to America, because the minute our police don't even care about us, that's the minute our country no longer becomes safe. And when the country is no longer safe, what's the point of living here? People have kids, people have futures, people have dreams. We're not going to keep doing this. Now, a protest followed after the synagogue attack, which I'm so confused about, Like, wait, sorry, someone from your community, your religion, ideology killed 2 people, and yet you guys are the ones protesting like you guys are the victims? What are you guys the victims of? What are you guys the victims of? Let me show you guys the Now, what I noticed about this footage, and I have to point this out because I'm a very fair person, is that a lot of people that were protesting at this Palestinian protest after the synagogue attack, most of them were white. I barely saw any hijabis. I barely saw any Arab people. I saw the same white leftists that I would see at these stand up to racism events. Which begs the question, who is paying these people? Somebody is paying these people to create civil unrest. Say what you want about Islam, say what you want about the Muslim community, but the eyes do not lie. And those who have eyes to see, it's the same thing we see with stand up to racism. We don't see the black people there. We don't see the people of color there. We see these white people. Somebody is paying these people. No, seriously, guys. Somebody is paying these people to create civil unrest. Because that makes no sense. Now, on the 5th of October, 2 white masked men, emphasis on the word white, okay, because white could be Albanian, white could be Romanian, white could be American, even white could be New Zealand, but we do know there were 2 white men who were masked. They basically came and they poured gasoline all over the front of the mosque, and basically set the mosque on fire. I'm going to show you footage. Now, no one was injured due to this, but the entrance was injured and the car that was parked in front of it was injured, and apparently there was only 2 people praying in the mosque. Now, my personal opinion on this is that, do we want Islam to take over our Christian nation called Great Britain? Absolutely not. But is burning mosques the answer? Absolutely not. I do not agree with that. I do not condone that. I do not support it. I think it's childish. I think it's silly. I think it's stupid, and I think it sends the wrong message. Now, again, we don't know if this is anyone from the patriotic movement. We don't know if it's hooligans. We don't know if it's UTK lots. We don't know if it's UK. We don't know yet. All we know is that they're white. And like I said, white can mean anything. It can mean Romanian. It can mean Jewish. It can mean American. Okay. However, I just want to make it very clear that I do not condone the burning of any buildings, because if there's a human being in that building and someone dies, I have a serious problem with that, because I'm a Christian, and in Christianity we believe in life. Do not believe in death. Death comes from the Lord. Only God has the right to take away someone's life. So whoever did that, shame on you. Now, my second opinion on this is, whilst going on Twitter and doing my research, is anyone still calling X Twitter? I can't not, I don't know how to not call it Twitter. But anyways, upon doing further research on this on X/Twitter, I saw quite a few people blaming this on the patriotic movement and the Raise the Colours movement. What the hell does this have to do with the Raise the Colours movement? What does this have to do with it? Because even if you look at the footage, you don't see anyone wearing the UTK shirt. You don't see anyone with the Union Jack. You don't see anyone with the England flag. So why are you just jumping the gun and saying that this has to do with a movement with zero to no evidence? The reason why we was able to jump the gun when it came to the synagogue attack is because, for one, the person was shouting Allahu Akbar. Two, the person's name was Jihad. And three, the guy had a full beard. You know, Muslims, they like to grow the beards. It was very easy for us to jump the gun. But in this case, you're seeing people jump the gun with no real evidence. And this is the problem that I have with the left, because most of the people that were saying this were leftists. For example, Narinda Kaur, she commented, Narinda Kaur is like she says stupid things for attention. She commented, seeing the real intentions behind all raise the colours flags on the A259 unfurl as Peace Haven Mosque is firebombed. Burning a mosque is terrorism, full stop. If leaders can swiftly condemn a synagogue attack, they must do the same. Where did anyone see the Union Jack? Did anyone see the England flag? I'm happy to agree with her if we actually saw the Union Jack, if we actually saw the England flag, if we actually saw somebody wearing one of Tommy Robinson's UTK uniform, I would be happy to agree with her. But there's no evidence of that. So I just don't understand people who just make up things. Like, I'm someone where I have a very low tolerance for stupidity. I have a very low tolerance for people who just don't have common sense in their brain, and people who just say things just to say things. Have your evidence. You know, I also saw another tweet. Terrorist attack on mosque downgraded to hate crime as perpetrators are white and victims are Muslims. Peace Haven, a suburb just outside Brighton, was draped in flags only weeks ago, and last night its mosque was attacked. Again, them mentioning the fact that it was draped in flags is them subtly trying to say that this has to do with the Raise the Colours movement. But the reason why it's draped in flags is because that's what the country should look like every day. This is Great Britain, so the flag should be raised in every corner of the street. Not because they wanted to plan a mosque attack or a terrorist attack. No, because this is Great Britain. The same way if he was to go to Dubai or China, you would see the Chinese flag and the Dubai flag in every corner of the street. So don't come to me with that nonsense about, oh mate, it's like they subtly try to say it has something to do with the raise the colour. No, we're not doing that. It didn't have anything to, and the reason why this is working my nerves is because the Raise the Colours flag was such a positive movement. It was such a movement about unity and British values and patriotism. And here they go trying to demonize it and spin it and say that this had to do, whilst also having zero to no evidence that it had to do with that. What? Another tweet said, breaking, British youths angry from forcefully and planned Islamic conversion and Islamic radical actions set the fire in a newly constructed mosque in Peace Haven. Well, first of all, you saying British youths, I don't know why you needed to say that, because if you're living in the country 9 times out of 10, you're going to be British. I think we're confusing the difference between citizenship and actual, ethnicity. So I don't know. Again, I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to do. Them starting their sentence with British youths, automatically you're going to think of the British flag. Automatically you're going to associate it with the Raise the Colours movement. I'm not stupid. I know what they're trying to do. Angry from forcefully and planned Islamic conversion. Okay, so you guys finally can admit that there is an Islamic invasion happening in the country. You guys finally admitted it. And Islamic radical action sets the fire in a newly constructed mosque. Okay, but how do we know this? You haven't even interviewed the people yet to ask them why they did this. Again, I'm not saying this because I'm just trying to take sides and things like that. No, I'm so big on evidence. Evidence. Let's go through the evidence first, and then let's put out statements. Because that's what I've been doing for the longest when it comes to like my citizen journalism. I go through the evidence first, and I thought that's what we all did. Okay, so I don't like when people are just jumping the gun and saying, well, this has to do with this movement. No, let's not do that. Let's interview the people first. Let's put them in custody. Let's find out why they did it. Because imagine if we come out now and we find out these are Romanians who did it because one of them stole their sister's underwears. You guys are all gonna look like idiots. Imagine that, guys. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of the details. Now, I know people on Twitter are saying, but you guys were quick to condemn Islam. Yeah, because it was an Islamic attack. The guy was screaming Allahu Akbar. His name is Jihad. It doesn't take long. But with this, yes, we need to take our time because we don't have any information yet. And again, I'm not saying this to be biased. I'm not at all. If they come out and it's revealed that these people are people from the Patriot movement or the UTK movement or whatever, I will reconsider supporting this movement because I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be associated with anyone or anything who thinks burning down mosques whilst people are inside is the answer. I won't. But until then, let's stick to evidence first, and then we start making accusations. Now, my last point and I may be wrong. I may be wrong. This is something just in my woman intuition. Again, I may be wrong. Okay, let me repeat, I may be wrong because I don't want to get arrested or anything. But something is telling me that some of these attacks are planned. Something is telling me that these attacks are planned. Okay, starting off with the protesters. I barely saw any Muslim protesters until it was like the second day. One of the second days of the protest, I did see Muslim, but the actual first day, I didn't see them. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. It's the same thing we see with the stand up to racism march. The third thing is just like some of the stories that are coming out is like they're the perfect stories to make people angry. Do you get what I mean? They're the perfect stories to make communities angry. For example, a mosque being burnt down, that's the perfect story to aggravate the Muslim community. For example, a synagogue being burnt down by a person called Jihad. His name is Jihad for flip's sake. That's the perfect story to make the patriot community, the pro Israel community, and the English community who have become very tired of extremist Islam, make them very angry. Am I the only one that feels that way? There's a lot of things that are being put in our media and in our face that are clearly going to make us angry, and it's almost like it's too, I don't want to say it's too good to be true because that's not the right word to use, but it's like the stories are too perfect to make us angry, which is making me question, are these things being orchestrated to create civil unrest and therefore lead to a civil war, and therefore lead to our government saying we need a solution, and therefore imposing something like, I don't know, digital ID? Because that's how history has always worked. Let's create civil unrest, let's create division, and once we create division, let's find a solution. But that solution is not going to be in our benefit, it's going to be in their benefit. Because these stories, I don't know how to explain it, but they're just like, does anyone else feel this way? Please comment in the comment section. But some of the stories that I'm seeing, especially every week, I'm seeing stories: Afghan migrant assaulted the child, Afghan migrant assaulted a child in the park, Somali migrant assaulted a Down syndrome child I'm just thinking, you're trying to aggravate us. You know what I mean? Like, either do something about it and close the borders, or just stop bombarding us with these negative news that is going to cause us to be more and more angry and potentially cause civil unrest. Now, I know we need to know this information because we need to know what's going on in our country. But at the same time, I don't know, because I have no proof of this. It's just this feeling inside of me. And again, I may be wrong, that these stories are being put out to just aggravate us. And we need to be careful. But anyways, guys, if you guys would like more videos like this, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.